Well, I got a little wet. I'm pretty soaked. And I stayed down there through the rain for a while. And I kept scraping and scraping and scraping and scraping and scraping and scraping. I've got those 2 steps. And then I worked on those bottom 2. And that was only that 1 coat. And I got quite a bit off. And it's not cooperating. The weather is probably going to be spitting, sprinkling all day long. So I'm not going to be able to do those other 3 steps and finish those other 2 steps until tomorrow. It looks like it's supposed to be partly cloudy, partly sunny, and I'll finish that. And I've got probably half a container of the quart left, and I think that's going to be enough. I'm going to be kind of stingy and try to just use that one so I can take that other one back to the store, because that's all I've got to do is these steps, and I don't have to get any more than this off of there. Once that's dry and stuff, I'll sweep up, scrape a little bit, make sure it's pretty smooth. I'm not even going to sand them or anything before I put on my my Durham's Rock Hard water putty. And I think the other reason why it was hard to get off is because that's not a flat, well, that's not just one surface. It's the edge of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least 7 2x4s on edge. And maybe that's why it was harder to get that paint off, because it's not just one flat surface like a regular 4x12, like these 2 4x12s that I put on. I think that's maybe what the issue is. It's just harder to come off. Some areas it's okay, and then other areas where it's the next edge of the next 2x4, it's harder to get off. And I think that's what was causing my issue, because I put 3 coats of the paint remover on those 2, and I was having a heck of a time getting it off. But I think I'll do a little bit more of the video when this is dry and see how well these next ones are to get off. Well, I think that's all I'm going to do for today, but I'll finish up this video in a minute. Well, it's the same day right after I was working before the rain stopped, and then I went back down there and did some more. I was going to show you the last 3 steps, but I didn't want you to hear me cussing, because that Jasco paint remover did not come off very well. I had to use my metal putty knives, and I shouldn't have had to have used those. This stuff said that it would bubble up, and I could take a plastic knife and just push it and scrape it right up. That was not the case. Sadly, it was not the case at all. I still have a little bit left in here, and I ended up having to put 2 applications on certain steps, and even 3, and some wouldn't even bubble up. And the stuff that you saw that bubbled up, it didn't bubble up any more than that. And then after 15 minutes, it was dry. It was hard for me to even scrape it up. I put it on there another time, like 5 minutes, and tried to scrape it up, and that kind of worked a little bit. And then I waited 15 minutes, and it was dry and hard. Oh man, my hands are so sore, my back's sore, my neck's sore, sitting there, different angles, trying to get it off, cussing all the way. Yes. What kind of grade do I give this? I'm very, very disappointed at you, Mr. Jasco. I'm going to give you an F minus. Maybe a D, but no more than a D. Not even a D plus. I'm not going to even give you a D plus. Now, I shook it up well. I shook it up some more. You're only supposed to let it dry for 15 minutes, and then you're supposed to just scrape it right up with a plastic knife like this. Just like that. And it's supposed to come up. Not the case. I even gave it a shadow of the doubt because, as I told you before, these were glue lam beams. They're 7 2x4s on edge, inch and a half, inch and a half, inch and a half, inch and a half, all the way across. And I was thinking maybe that's why it was taking so long and it was so hard to loosen up the paint. Well, you know what? This stuff, it even says removes epoxy. Epoxy is, oh man, you know, that stuff is really strong. It's supposed to break that up. And this is exterior. If that wasn't latex paint, I'm pretty sure it was acrylic latex paint. Even if it was an oil-based paint, it's supposed to take oil-based paints off, acrylic, and epoxy. This was no epoxy. Sorry about that, Mr. Jasco. It had one layer of primer, one layer of paint. Now granted, the paint was on here for, I'm going to guess, at least 15 years, maybe up to 17 years on the exterior. Okay, but still, this paint remover should have bubbled up more, and it should have been nice and easy to just push right off with the plastic applicator, it said. And so you know what I'm going to do? I am not very pleased with this at all. Maybe it was an old stock, and maybe they put it on the shelf and it's been sitting in the back for 85 years. I don't know. But in any case, you know what I'm going to do? I'm taking this back to Home Depot. I've only got like that much left from there down, and I'm getting my money back. I don't care. I'm going to tell them, just like I'm telling you, it did not work like it claimed to work. I want my money back. It was only 10 bucks, but you know what? These stairs, I should have had this done in, oh, I don't know, an hour and a half. Instead, oh, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. I stayed down there until it was raining on me. I was getting the first 2 steps finished, the last 2 steps finished. It was raining on me. I had to go up when I got done with that and take a bath, and then I came back down and it was stopped raining, and so I did the last 3, and I'm freezing my booty off right now, and I should have been done a long time ago. And so, Mr. Jasco, I don't think I'm getting you anymore. I'm going to try the other stuff next time. And you get a big fat F for failure. And I'm getting my money back. And I'm posting this on YouTube, Mr. Jasco. Just so you know, professional strength, Jasco my booty. Okay, well that's all I got. That's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos. Yes, you heard it right from me. That Jasco paint remover on this particular project did not work. Blah blah. I'm glad that's over with though. And tomorrow I'm going to start prepping those stairs. I hope to see you then. And you know what? I'm going to tell you like it is when a product does not work to my satisfaction.